Hi, I'm Tom Biller at Jupiter Marine. We've started a video series on how-tos for our boats. You can see them on YouTube. Today we're going to talk about how to start and stop a boat that is equipped with a smart battery hub, the optional smart battery hub. So first, let me show you what that actually looks like, just in case you don't know. This box right here that says BEP on the front, that's the smart battery hub. Underneath this cover, let me just go ahead and show you. You have what looks like traditional battery switches. We really don't want to touch these battery switches unless we absolutely have to. And we can talk about in a moment some of the scenarios where that might happen. But if you have to turn the battery switches on or off here, after you do that, you're going to have to get service. So, well, one of the features that this device lets you do is you can have remote battery switches. What we've done is we've located them here on the breaker panel. So instead of having regular battery switches, we have these remote switches. You have your house, engines, and the parallel. When we go to start the battery, we always start with the house battery, and then you do the engine batteries. So if I turn on the house, you can hear it click on. There's even a little LED. It's hard to see in this light, but there's a little light that indicates that it's turned on. Then you turn the engines on. So you always go house, engines, in that order to turn it on. When you turn it off, you go the other way. We'll talk about that again later when we turn the boat off. The parallel switch, you really don't need to mess with that. Sometimes the indicator lamp will be on that switch even though you didn't touch it, but that's just the smart battery hub doing its job, taking care of the batteries as it's supposed to. So now we've turned on the house battery, we have the engine batteries on, the boat's pretty much ready to go. We'll go to the helm. And the next thing you want to do is turn the ignition on. So on the Yamaha, that's how you turn the ignition on. And then you would be ready to start the engines at that point. If for some reason the engines don't start, nothing happens when you go to push the stop button here to get it to go. If nothing happens, then what you need to do is check to make sure that you still have your kill lanyard connected properly, and check to see if it starts. If that doesn't work, nothing happens. Engines don't start. Put the throttles in gear, put them back in neutral, and then try again. Okay? Those are a couple of simple things that you can do just in case the engines don't start right up. But right now we're ready to start the engines. They're trimming and tilting just fine. The Garmin screens will automatically turn on when you power the house up, and then you can start using any of your devices. Now, to turn the boat off, the first thing that you need to do is after the engines are shut down, you're tied up obviously, secure at the dock, we're going to turn the ignition off. That's the first thing that you're going to do. And then you're going to turn off any of the devices that you might have turned on the boat. So everything needs to get turned off, including the Garmin screens. We're going to turn the Garmin screens off like this. And then hopefully you'll be able to plug into shore power at that time. And then you can turn off the battery switches. You go back to the breaker panel here, just like we started. And then to turn it off, we start with the engines. And you have to hold them for 3 seconds. That's so that you don't inadvertently turn something off while the boat's running. First, to turn it off, engines first, house second. You hear the click. And the battery parallel, you don't have to worry about that. The battery parallel is if it's slow to crank, you have a low battery, and there's no parallel engaged, you can engage the parallel, and then you have a larger battery bank that you can jump start the engine if necessary. So that's there just in case. If that doesn't work and you suspect that there's something wrong with the switches out here, then possibly that would be the only scenario where you would actually go to the smart battery hub and move those switch knobs on the Smart Battery Hub. Otherwise, there's really no need to open that box and move those. And like I said, if you do, then you're gonna have to go after that. You're gonna have to go to service to have it recalibrated. So that concludes our start and stop video. If you have any suggestions on any other videos you'd like to see, send us an email at customersupport@jupitermarine.com.